How people treat you at every level of wealth, from $0 to $25 million. For most people, money is about freedom. Freedom to pay bills without stress, freedom to travel, freedom to buy the things you want without checking your bank account every 5 minutes. But there's something else money changes that almost nobody talks about. It changes how people treat you, not just banks, not just businesses. Everyone, friends, family, strangers, employers, even the person serving your coffee. And what's fascinating is that the change doesn't happen all at once. It happens level by level, rung by rung, as you climb the wealth ladder. So let's walk through what happens from $0 all the way to $25 million. Because the higher you go, the more the world changes around you. And sometimes the biggest surprises happen at the top. Level 1, $0 or negative net worth. When you have no money, or worse, you're in debt, the world doesn't treat you with sympathy. It treats you with suspicion. Think about it. You apply for an apartment and suddenly you're asked for deposits, references, credit checks, and proof of income. You miss a payment by a few dollars and get hit with a massive fee. You need a loan the most, yet you're offered the worst interest rates. Everything costs more when you can least afford it. This is what economists call the poverty premium. The less money you have, the more expensive life becomes. And it goes beyond finances. People assume you're irresponsible before they know your story. They assume you're a risk before they know your character. At this level, you're constantly proving that you're trustworthy, not because you've done anything wrong, simply because you don't have money. Level 2, around $10,000 net worth. Now you've built a small cushion. You're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. One unexpected expense won't completely destroy you. But here's what's interesting. People still don't treat you differently. You're no longer viewed with suspicion. But you're also not valued. You're processed. You're customer number 4382. You're another account in the system. When you call customer service, you're stuck on hold. When your flight gets cancelled, you're waiting in the longest line. When something goes wrong, nobody is rushing to help. You aren't being mistreated. You're just invisible. And that's where most people spend years of their lives. Not hated, not respected, simply unnoticed. Level 3, $100,000 net worth. This is where you begin to look financially stable. You have savings, maybe some investments, perhaps retirement accounts and a growing emergency fund. At this stage, society finally sees you as normal. You become the default customer, the average consumer, the person every company wants to sell to. And while that sounds positive, there's a catch. The system isn't designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to keep you spending. This is where all the offers start appearing: store credit cards, financing plans, upgrade packages, subscription services. Everything is built to keep extracting money from the comfortable middle class. You're no longer ignored, but you're still a target, just in a much friendlier way. Level 4. $250,000 to $500,000 net worth. Now things get interesting, because for the first time, institutions start paying attention to you. A bank calls you, a financial advisor reaches out, a relationship manager introduces themselves. Suddenly, you're no longer just an account, you're a client. And that distinction matters, because below a certain level, companies see you as a cost. Above that level, they see you as an asset. The moment you become profitable enough, the treatment changes. The hold times get shorter, the service gets better, the responses come faster. The same company that barely noticed you before now wants to keep you happy. Not because you've changed, because your balance sheet has. And once you notice this, it's impossible to unsee. Level 5. $1 million net worth. For decades, becoming a millionaire was considered the ultimate financial achievement. Today, it's still impressive. But it's not what most people imagine. $1 million isn't private jets and yachts. It's security. its options, its breathing room. And this is where a different challenge appears: family, friends, people from your past. Because once people know you've accumulated real wealth, something subtle changes. You're no longer just a person, you're also a resource. The cousin with a business idea, the friend who needs a loan, the relative facing a financial emergency. And here's the difficult part: many of these requests are genuine. People aren't necessarily trying to use you, but after enough conversations, a question starts living in the back of your mind. Would they still be calling if I didn't have money? That question is expensive, because once it enters your life, it's hard to remove. Level 6, $5 million net worth. At $5 million, you're genuinely wealthy, not rich-looking, actually wealthy. This is where the word no starts disappearing. The restaurant finds a table. The sold-out event suddenly has an opening. The wait list moves faster. The exceptions begin appearing. Life becomes smoother. And after a while, something dangerous happens. You start believing this is normal. You forget how many obstacles other people face every day, because you rarely encounter them anymore. Doors open before you reach them. Problems get solved before they become emergencies. People accommodate you before you ask. The world becomes easier to navigate. And the longer you stay in that environment, the easier it becomes to mistake privilege for skill. Not because you're arrogant, because human beings adapt to their circumstances very quickly. Level 7, $10 million net worth. At this level, wealth becomes impossible to hide. Your lifestyle reveals it, your neighborhood reveals it, your choices reveal it. And now a new problem emerges: trust. Every new friendship comes with uncertainty. Every new relationship comes with questions. Is this person interested in me or interested in what I have? That's not paranoia, it's reality. Because money changes incentives. People may genuinely like you and still be attracted to the opportunities your wealth provides, and separating those two motivations becomes incredibly difficult. This is why wealthy families become obsessed with structures, trusts, prenups, estate planning, family governance. Because wealth doesn't just create opportunities, it creates complications. And one of the biggest complications is figuring out who is truly in your corner. Level 8. $25 million net worth. Now you're operating in an entirely different world. At this level, wealth stops being about money. It becomes about systems, teams, infrastructure. You don't just hire professionals. You build organizations, accountants, lawyers, investment managers, assistants, property managers, people whose job is to make your life easier. And eventually, something unexpected happens. You stop interacting with normal friction. You don't wait in lines. You don't sit on hold. You don't deal with routine inconveniences. Someone handles it. Someone always handles it. And while that sounds amazing, and in many ways it is, it comes with a hidden cost. Because friction isn't just inconvenience. It's human contact. It's conversations. It's random interactions. It's the everyday moments that connect you to ordinary life. When every problem is solved for you, you gradually become separated from the experiences most people share. And that's why some of the wealthiest people in the world struggle with loneliness. Not because they're suffering, because they're isolated. The glass wall becomes invisible, but it's still there, the biggest lesson. So what can we learn from this entire journey? Money absolutely matters. Anyone who says otherwise has never experienced financial stress. Money can eliminate anxiety, create opportunity, provide security, and dramatically improve your quality of life. But every level of wealth comes with its own challenges. At the bottom, you're fighting to survive. In the middle, you're fighting to get ahead. Higher up, you're fighting to figure out who is genuine. And at the very top, you're fighting not to become disconnected from reality. The truth is that wealth changes how the world treats you. But it doesn't automatically change who you are. And it doesn't guarantee happiness. The people who thrive financially are usually the ones who remember that money is a tool. not an identity. Because at the end of the day, the most valuable things in life aren't measured in dollars, they're measured in trust, relationships, purpose, and the people who would still answer your call if your bank account went back to zero tomorrow. Those are the people worth holding on to. Because wealth can buy comfort, it can buy convenience, it can even buy influence, but it can never buy genuine human connection. And that's the one asset that becomes more valuable at every single level of wealth. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And let me know in the comments, which wealth level surprised you the most, and where do you think the biggest shift in treatment actually happens? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.